So good afternoon, Delaney. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you're reading right now in Silent Sustained Reading and your progress. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about the book you're currently reading?
It's called Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I didn't read very much of it yet, though.
Okay, what happened so far, do you know?
It's about a boy who goes to this lady's house to learn better manners.
Okay, do you find this to be an easy read or a harder read for you?
It's really hard.
How come it's hard?
There's a lot of words in here that I don't know.
You don't know. Is it interesting to you?
Not really. I like history, and it's not really about history.
You like history? Okay. Well, I'm going to teach you a little rule I know about how to find books that are easy for you and interesting. And it's called the five-finger rule. So the way it works is you're going to read a page of a book,
Okay.
and you put up 5 fingers. And when you get to a word you don't know or you can't read, you put a finger down. And so if you get 5 or more, then it's not a good book. And if you get none you don't know, then it's also not a good book because it's way too easy.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you go over to the bookshelf. I'm going to have you pick out some books that look interesting to you, and then we're going to try the five-finger rule on it.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and do that.
I found these 2 books.
Okay, what did you find? What are the names and why did you pick them?
The story of Harriet Tubman of the Freedom Train. Harriet Tubman was in history, so she did a lot of things, so I like to learn about her. And this one's called The Red Badge of Courage, and it looks like it's about a war in the past, so I'm interested in it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have you pick one, and you're going to open up to page 2, and we're going to try the five-finger rule on it.
Okay.
So every time you get to a word you don't know, you're going to put a finger down or up.
Okay. To this alternative audience, he drew a loud and, I don't know that word,
Okay, yep, there goes one.
plan of the very brilliant campaign. When he finished, the blue-clothed men scattered into small arguing groups between rows of, I don't know that word,
Okay, one more.
brown huts. A Negro team, I don't know that word,
Okay, there's 3.
who had been dancing upon a cracker box with the hilarious, I don't know that word,
Okay,
of 2 scores soldiers was, I don't know that word.
okay, so we hit 5 and we didn't even make it halfway through. So I think that means it's probably too hard, although it's interesting. So we're going to have to put that book to the side and say, you know what, it looks interesting, maybe not yet. So let's pick up your other book and see, go to page 2 and see how many we get on this.
Outside, a light spring breeze rippled in the pink and white, I don't know that word,
Okay.
blossoms. A mockingbird flew into the stately oak which shaded the gateway of the big house. In the distance, Harriet could see the tops of the scrubby pines growing out of the salt marshes along the bay. As she watched, a flock of geese rose above the pines, fanning out behind the leader in a V. I don't know that word.
Okay.
They headed northward. The sky stretched blue and cloudless, and the sun was dazzling on the top of the trees. When she closed her eyes, she could picture the green velvet of the big house lawns, sloping down to a neat fence rows. She could hear the honking of the geese and the sweet thrill of the mockingbird and the murmur of song and talk of the workers in the field. That would be her brothers setting out the young tobacco plants, and her mother hilling up the soil around the corn, or I don't know that word.
Okay, so there's 3.
Rows of yellow wheat far off in the woods. Daddy Ben was cutting down the oak trees for the Baltimore shipyards.
Okay, so we only got 3 wrong, which means this is like perfect. It's not too hard, but it's not too easy. So you still have a few words that are unfamiliar, but you'll probably be able to figure them out through context clues. So this looks like a really good book for your silent sustained reading. Do you want to keep this book?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and go back on to reading.